everybody, and welcome back to a new episode where we Lunskut. We play our game in our own changed setting and universe of Waterdeep, now called Waterdale, with new elements of the Industrial Revolution. Of course, our key feature remains a long-lost treasure. Last episode, Edmund and Fletch put one of Fletch's notorious poisons in Gamaya's brownie batter. Now, the poison wasn't all that dangerous, but the brownies still came out with odd, intoxicating effects that would now lead to problems within the Skillbent Sigil. But, without further ado, let's all scoot into the paths of a new adventure. Gods, he'd never shake off the first time he tasted alcohol on his tongue. The addicting burn of whiskey. The first whiskey. He must have been around 6 years old. Edmund lay in bed that night, small hands clutching the horse-shaped plush toy to his chest. The room was dim. The house was always too big at night, cavernous and intimidating. His mother came to tuck him in, always. The soft knock, the hand smoothing out his hair, the kiss on his forehead. Edmund waited and waited. She did not come, and when, after hours on end, she still did not come to tuck him in, he carefully slipped from his crib, climbing out despite his better judgment, plush under his arm. He knew well, he knew better. His mother wouldn't want him to climb out of his crib on his own accord, risk a potential injury and all, despite being 6 years of age. No, he went against his parents' call. His tiny bare feet made no sound against the polished floor. He whispered a mumble for his mum. No answer. Then he saw it. His father's study. The door was slightly creaked open. It had never been open. Father kept it locked at all times. Always. A line of warm lamplight spilled into the corridor where the young heir stood. Edmund hesitated. He knew better. His heart beat in his throat, but curiosity and loneliness were stronger. He pushed the door open enough to slip inside. The room smelled of oak, paper, and something sharp and smoky. Whiskey. Richard sat slumped in his chair, elbows on his desk, head resting on his arms. One hand hung loosely at the side of his desk, fingers curled around a half-full glass of amber. Edmund froze. He had never seen his father this still, this unmoving, not composed, not calculated, just still. Calm? Edmund approached with silent steps. He was close enough to reach him, to touch him. So, he reached and gently tugged on the sleeve of Richard's coat. He called for him, much like he had done for his mum seconds ago. A small whisper. No response. Not even a shift. Edmund's eyes moved to the glass in his father's slack hand, then to the tall glass-fronted cabinet behind his father, at the bottles that looked like tiny crystal houses, cradling jewels within. Something called to him. Not desire, not curiosity. Imitation. The mystery liquid. If father drank this, then maybe this was what grown, strong, unshakable men needed. Edmund wobbled to the cabinet, standing on his tippy toes in his white satin nightgown. He opened the door with care before trying to retrieve one of the bottles. His fingers curled around the lid, and he slowly pulled the bottle out from between the other beautiful flasks. Cradling the bottle, Edmund squeezed his eyes shut, shouting for the cold, immediate punishment. Nothing came. He opened his eyes. Richard hadn't moved. Edmund's panic dissolved. He uncorked the whiskey, brought the bottle to his lips, and drank. It burned. It burned like swallowing fire. He coughed, tears catching his eyes, but he willed himself and drank again. And again. Big, determined gulps. He wanted to be strong, too. He could handle this, too. His legs wobbled. The room swayed. He set the bottle down, unsteady, and slid onto the floor beside his father's chair. He curled up there, small body pressed up against the leg of his father. The air was warm. He fell asleep there and woke up again to the gentle click of a shutting door. When Edmund opened his eyes, he was in his own bed again. The blankets were pulled high, the horse toy was in his arms, his forehead was damp from a kiss. And after that night, no one mentioned the half-emptied whiskey bottle. Moonshine, a new lover he met not even long ago. Something he never tried before, a stranger he never met. Moonshine was tricky. The moonshine had grabbed him by the hands and taken him for a spin, a calculated dance. Edmund lost track of time. He wasn't sure when exactly he finished the entire contents of that bottle, or when he stumbled and fell. The sound made a loud clang, startling Heino, who came flying down to inspect his owner. Heino encircled him. He found Edmund's face, carefully picking and pulling at his beard as he had done every consistent morning so far to wake the man up. No answer. The animalistic eyes of the creature searched for Edmund's. He couldn't find a response, no sign of life. Walking to Edmund's hand, Heino started rubbing its soft, fuzzy face against the open palm of his hand. First gentle, then harsher. Using this type of poison slows the absorption of alcohol and delays the feeling of drunkenness. However, this might seem as a good thing, but in reality it makes it harder to distinguish how much you've actually had. You might very well be over a healthy limit.
Edmund? Hey, stay with me. Please, fuck, you're cold. You're going to be fine. Hey, please. Edmund. Wake up.
Gamaya had found him, but for Edmund, consciousness was brittle. He was fading in and out, hanging on by a thread and more inclined to give in to the blurry haze he felt, rather than fighting it. He felt like going with the current, rather than swimming upstream. He felt it was easier to close his eyes and ebb away, to cease. And with that, I think that's it. Thank you for listening to our episode of Ludenscoot, with many more to follow. Next episode, Gamaya and Fletch will have a confrontation about what happened, about their shared friend Edmund, and about what it will mean for Fletch's connection to Edmund. However, we want to take a moment to acknowledge that struggles with alcohol and substance use are real, complex, and deeply personal. If this episode brought up any difficult feelings for you, please know that you are not alone. Reaching out for help is not a weakness. If you are struggling with alcohol use, thoughts of harming yourself, or feeling overwhelmed, we strongly encourage you to seek support. Consider reaching out to a trusted friend or family member, a local medical professional or mental health provider, a substance abuse support group in your area, or a crisis hotline available in your country. Please, take care of yourself. But for now, we've bothered you enough. Bye-bye.
Laters.
Adios.